All right, hello, and welcome back to the Crossword vlog, aka Clog Saturday edition, and sadly not tag team edition, just me today. Um, but yeah, we can look at the 1 hour challenge. Obviously, we're well behind pace here, so gonna take it a little easy. It's really Sundays that we need to practice in this, but not gonna go for a slow time necessarily, but maybe I'll chill out a bit. Let's get started. Um, It's got to be like a warrior pose or something. Maybe yogis of one. Maybe talc. So that's a pretty soft thing. Rescue pet. Um, Night to remember. An Eve, like Christmas Eve. Evil something. Busy bee. Anti. Okay. He's really into probably S here. Evil. I'll keep it out for now. It's an otoscope thing. Vegan bacon. Okay. Formed in Pittsburgh. Maybe something river. Okay. I like pose here. Pads. Um, could be Omaha. Sugar Shacks. Okay. Maybe CPAs. Um, take a series of steps. Okay. I think this is Aldi. Maybe Carpe Diem. Well, Carpe Noctem. By all means, go ahead. Please do. Add read or something. Break rest. Add Nepal. Plane. Okay. Kind of cool. EKG would work. Staple at a car wash. Mutually. ER, because this could be or EEG agrees to. Adds agrees on. Add Logan. An egg. NG. Edam. An ego. Yeah. Gnome. The Iditarod. Gnome, Alaska. I've helped all I can. Something done, maybe? Maybe. What's your decision? Leapt into could be click with customers. Kind of like mice or something. Okay. Galaxy program. Android app, Samsung Galaxy. Ashtray. I guess SAP. X. No? This Nepal thing is ESPN something. Okay. Makes rapidly. Churns out. I wonder if alias is. So I'll put a sauna pose here. raised. Sad. Okay. Keep going. Pitched by a pitcher. Just in terms of names that fit, Stephen Ian. And then Mist Island, I think. My work here is done. No! My work here is done? That's a little off to my ear, but word before how or where, but not who. Interesting. Yes or no? Hmm. Yeah, things are looking a little weird here, to be honest. Maybe a wig. I think this would be bok choy. Yeah, this is Reiki. My work here's done. Might be a little overly ambitious, to be honest. Maybe a boa. Maybe Ohio River or something. Kind of like why, but yes or then SS is pretty bad. Top hit list, top something. Maybe mitts, like probably S there. Something out. Okay. Overturn could be undo. It could be like primary character. Or I guess your main. Or this could be yay or nay. Very vocal. Leaped in. Fiona. I don't think that's a type of bird. I'll leave that out, but top 40. Um, allowed to strike. Let at, maybe? Where was I? I'm looking at the downs. The Munsters. Tap out, maybe? This could be an IPA because it has the periods there, and then India Pale Ale would make sense that it's despite the name. Stands could be Lear. Oh, this is Longu, aka Long U sound. Lear at Trixie, Evil Genius, Tracy, ANP. Okay. Eddie Munster, is that a person? Um, somehow, somewhere, but not some who. Here. This this works with Ohio. It's good. ESPN Radio, I guess. A rag, I guess. Could be like Grieg or something. Ars Poetica. Product pitched. My job here is done. Jumped in. So that works with Sam Hill? I don't get that. But then I also don't get Mina. Okay. Pitched by a pitcher. Okay, let's just do some laps. Sad. Turns out doesn't need to be right. Raised or pass. Pass a glass, raise a glass, but that doesn't fit. I'm like feeling an H ending or something, but yay or nay? I guess I'll put Mina there. Okay. Maybe like Nas, just sad. Sad something. And doesn't need to be turns. Cranks out. Oh, you click a camera. Kool-Aid, I guess? Sure. Yeah, because the Kool-Aid man is a pitcher. Sad. Sap. Okay. Doesn't need to be Nas. Doesn't need to be sad. Although the letters look pretty good. Could it be something relative? Could be some other pose for sure. But that ending with A is interesting. Tired expression. Okay, so that's a name. It's like gossip, hearsay, unfounded rumor. Raise a bar, pass the bar. Okay, cobra pose. Rio, maybe? Old hat. The expression old hat means this thing's tired, I guess. That doesn't need to be right, honestly. Oh, noted line of people, the Dalai Lamas. Okay. Um, Canard, is that a thing? Or like canary? I feel like this should be Gettable. Take a series of steps. Let's just look at some letters. Huh. None of that actually looked. This doesn't need to be hat, I guess. Not that that helps with what I was just looking at. Old. Are all of these definitely right? I can imagine a world in which Cranks was wrong, but it feels right. Okay. This has got to be A, E, I, O, or U. O. Sometimes Y. Really feels like an A. I could have, like, could canard be right? And then this would be A, E, I, O, or U. Could be like Edwin. Oh, dance. I don't know why I couldn't see that. Old Saw? Uh-oh. All right. I think Old Saw might be right. Old Saw, because Nas works. Okay, let's look for typos real quick. But obviously, I know something's weird down there. Kool-Aid. My job here is done. Sam Hill? Is that really a person? Top 40 Rat. Otoscope. Is that really a thing? Probably. Canard. Okay. Grieg. Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. Um, Ohio River. Trixie. Trissy? Trisha? Rescue cat? Alright. Well, not a bad time given how long we spent on that. Let's go ahead and enter that in. 001826. So just barely faster than the Friday. Um, yeah, I don't know. So from a structural level, there's the one board spanner, and then we have these two like three stacks of things, um, and a couple like long things going through. But it's really not kind of that impressive of a grid shape, just like ignoring what, Phil actually goes in those stacks. It doesn't quite feel like a Saturday puzzle in terms of like Honestly, the Friday shape was much more Saturday-like with these like big open spaces that have like these big impressive stacks. But here, really, it's just a single board spanner and some, three stacks that are not even like full three stacks because the corner is missing. But that's not a problem if all the fill is good. But I just don't think I was all that impressed by the fill here. Like first of all, on a like what is the best fill here is that impressive, and then second of all, on what is a worst fill here, does that wipe out some of that impressiveness? So obviously my job here is done. Originally I wanted my work here is done, but I think honestly my job here is done and it might even be better than that. So that is definitely a very worthy and good um, board spanner. Um, Evil Genius is also very, very good. Vegan Bacon is okay, I would say. It's fun and fresh, I suppose. Um, but then Rescue Cat, I don't know if that is all that exciting. I think it's fine, but it's really not all that exciting and kind of vague. I guess it says purr. I should have put cat in from the beginning. So that part's on me, but just like I don't know, it doesn't hit quite the same as Evil Genius, for example. And then up here, I think is like an even less impressive stack. We've got Android app, which is probably, unfortunately, the best out of the bunch, but not all that exciting. I mean, I mean, put an iPhone app there, maybe we're talking. I kid. But yeah, just like I don't know, it's a vague term for an app. Like that's fine, I guess. But then the pluralized Dalai Lamas, I don't think hits very well. And then Cobra Pose again sort of has that like rescue cat problem where it's like, okay, we know we're talking about a yoga pose, but there's like a billion of them, right? Like like basically any animal pose. So seeing Cobra Pose is not all that exciting because it's not all that specific, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just think that the long fill here, which should be the star of the show in a Saturday, is really not doing it. And then for our long downs, we have like ESPN radio. Like that is probably one of the least popular ways to consume ESPN content after like TV and internet. Um, so like that really quite didn't hit at all for me. And then Ohio River, again, same thing as like Cobra Post. There's a billion rivers out there. Ohio River, like Nile River, Amazon River. Those are, tier one rivers that I think deserve their full name being spelled out, but Ohio River I don't think meets that bar. So yeah, and then ad slogan, please do, like whatever, jumped in. There's so many like partial phrases here, which I usually don't mind, but yeah, like jumped in, leer at, uh, what else? There were a lot of these. Mm, I'm proving myself slow at the very least. Um, let at, um, agrees on. Like it just felt like there were a lot of those. And I generally don't mind them. In fact, sometimes I kind of appreciate it because I like phrases, but it did feel a little excessive at the time. It's good. Um, and I didn't really like yay or nay. So yeah, just like across the board, I'm not sure exactly what the star of the show here was supposed to be, other than my job here is done, which is good, but not good enough to like carry an entire puzzle. So okay, like the long fill was not all that impressive. None of that was like garbage, I would say, but definitely not that impressive. Um, so then you assume that everything around it is like sparkling clean, um, because obviously the long fill wasn't the star of the show. Maybe the short fill is, but that is definitely not the case here. I think there's a lot of kind of really unfortunate proper nouns in this puzzle, like Trisha ANC. Mina? I assume that's a type of bird. Um, I don't know why Sam is clued this way. Is Sam Hill a person? Couldn't tell you. And, I'm lucky to know Mist, as well as Stephen Yun. Like I can definitely imagine someone getting stuck there. Like that's pretty garbage. We got like Nas, we got Edwin Diaz, Eddie Munster, Grieg in here, like tons and tons of proper nounage. Um, and unfortunately, I think the proper nounage is not even the worst part of the puzzle. Like, I think this canard old saw combination here is just really, really old-fashioned, I would have to say. Um, and neither of them are particularly fun to see in a vacuum. But the fact that they're A, right next to each other, and B, crossing stuff like Nas and Edwin, is a step too far. And like Nikon is in the mix as well. Um, yeah, and then otoscope crossing talc, right next to Longu. I really don't like these long letter fill things. So yeah, I don't know. Like I don't think this was the hardest Saturday puzzle ever. Like you could definitely power through the rough parts, but I think we have to take into account the fact that A, the long fill is not very good at all. I mean, it does not stand out at all. B, the grid is kind of unesthetic and choppy. C, the short fill is very proper noun heavy, especially um, kind of obscure proper nouns. And then finally, even the stuff that isn't proper nouns is not great in a lot of cases. And so I think all that combined, I think this is pretty far on the bad end of Saturday puzzles. Um, Definitely not as bad as some, but definitely a lot worse than most. So I'm going to give this a 2.5 out of 10. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, like, yeah, this did not impress me to say the least. That being said, always happy with a sub 20 Saturday time, especially on a week where I'm not like going for super fast times. So nothing wrong with that. And tomorrow will be sort of a training day, where we just try to see how fast we can get that Sunday done. Maybe I actually do it this afternoon. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.